the hidden reason America invaded Iraq, and why it was never about weapons. Officially, the war in Iraq was about safety. In 2003, the American public was told a simple story. Saddam Hussein possessed weapons of mass destruction. He was dangerous, unpredictable. And after September 11th, unpredictability was no longer tolerable. The invasion, we were told, was preemptive, necessary, defensive. But there was a problem. Those weapons were never found. Not in bunkers, not in deserts, not in palaces, not anywhere. And when something that central to a war simply doesn't exist, it forces a more uncomfortable question. If it wasn't about weapons, what was it about? One theory has lingered for 2 decades, dismissed publicly, whispered privately. Oil. Iraq sits on one of the largest proven oil reserves on Earth. It's the kind of resource that doesn't just power cars, it powers economies, currencies, and global influence. In the modern world, energy isn't just wealth, it's leverage. Whoever controls supply shapes the future. Before the invasion, Iraq sold its oil outside the American-dominated system. It flirted with alternatives, it resisted alignment, and it sat in a region already fractured by U.S. alliances and military presence. From a strategic perspective, Iraq was a problem, not because it was powerful, but because it was independent. In conspiracy circles, the invasion is framed not as a reaction, but as a message, a demonstration of what happens when a nation with resources refuses to play by the rules of the global order. And history gives this theory oxygen. The U.S. government had discussed regime change in Iraq years before 9/11. Military planning existed, political pressure existed. The attack didn't create the idea, it accelerated it. After the invasion, American and allied companies flooded in. Oil infrastructure was rebuilt under foreign contracts. A new political system formed under occupation. Iraq became integrated into the global framework it had once resisted. To critics, it looked less like liberation and more like absorption. This doesn't require secret cabals or hidden handshakes. It only requires one premise, that in a world built on energy, wars are rarely fought over morality. They're fought over access. Weapons made the war palatable. Fear made it urgent. But resources made it inevitable. And here's the uncomfortable part. Even if the invasion began with genuine belief, it ended with permanent presence. Military bases, long-term influence, strategic positioning in the heart of the Middle East. The war reshaped a region, not into peace, but into alignment. Whether you call it conspiracy or geopolitics depends on how comfortable you are believing that the most powerful nations on Earth act for purely noble reasons. Because history doesn't show that. It shows that empires don't expand by accident. They expand where value exists. And sometimes, the reason a war starts is the same reason it never truly ends.